what's going on, guys? Jake Peffer here, and this is going to be the first official movie review for my new channel, Jake's Cinema Room. On this review, I'm going to be covering the movie Beast, which stars Idris Elba and was released in theaters this past weekend. Beast tells the story of Dr. Nate Samuels, who is played by Idris Elba. Him and his two daughters are taking a trip to South Africa, where Nate has frequented in the past with their mother, who has been recently deceased. They hook up with one of Nate's old friends, Martin, who's played by Sharlto Copley. He's going to take them out and show them a lot of spots that Nate and their mother used to go to a lot, and kind of, just give them the lay of the land and show this beautiful country and scenery to Nate's daughters. While they're out, they unfortunately have a bit of a run-in with a very ferocious lion, the titular beast, if you will. Basically, they get pinned in a certain position where the lion has them cornered, and essentially the movie becomes a man versus nature movie as the group tries to not only get away from this lion, but they basically try to survive throughout the entirety of the movie. Overall, Beast is a pretty enjoyable movie. I mean, it's nothing new by any means. It's definitely something that we've seen before. It's almost kind of like taking Jaws and Jurassic Park and kind of putting them together in a way. But even though it's something that we've seen before, and even though it's something that's not necessarily new, it still is an enjoyable ride overall. I mean, it's got a lot of really good, tense action sequences, some of which play off almost kind of like a horror movie in a way, where there's a lot of tension built up, and then you get that big jump scare right when the lion jumps out at one of the characters, or you get a few instances where it's not even necessarily the lion, but you have a few jump scares of something else. And while some of that can be annoying at times, for the most part here, it plays off pretty well and is enjoyable. Idris Elba is definitely carrying this movie on his own. The two girls that play his daughters, I think, do a really good job as well. Both of them get a chance to kind of showcase their characters in their own way, and they both do it very well. Not really sure the ages that they're supposed to be. One seems like she might be in high school. The other one maybe more of a middle school age, even possibly elementary school. But despite their ages and them being young, both of them definitely give really good performances, and they definitely showcase these characters very well. As well as Sharlto Copley, who most of you might remember from District 9. He's the voice of Chappie. He was in Elysium, a lot of Neil Blomkamp movies. But here he is really good as the character Martin. Basically every scene he's in, he essentially steals every scene. And that's just kind of always been Sharlto's, that's something he's always done well. Even though he's not the lead in this movie, he definitely showcases his talents very well. And he definitely adds a lot to the movie. But Idris, on his own, he's carrying the bulk of this movie by himself. And, based on the trailers that I'm sure you've seen and everything, it definitely all leads up to an Idris versus lion battle in the end. And it's well worth getting up to that point. Because like I said, throughout, it's got a lot of great action scenes and everything. And once it gets to that final finale, it definitely is an entertaining watch for sure. Now, a few downsides here and there, The CGI, unfortunately, for the lion is very hit or miss. In certain sequences, it definitely looks pretty good. It looks like it could be a real lion. And then at other times, it just looks really cheesy, really rubbery, really not like a lion should. And a lot of that, unfortunately, is just at times where the lion has to move around a lot more when it's in attack mode. A lot of the time it's moving so quickly, the computer effects just, they don't look natural. There is a particular scene early on where we meet a pack of other lions, and those lions actually look really good, mainly because they're not doing so much. They're not running around and moving around so quickly. So I think the animators allow for those to look a little bit more natural. And it would have been nice if the main lion had looked a little bit more like them. But, it's understandable that with all the movements and action sequences and everything, the lion's going to look a little cheesy at times. But it's nothing that completely takes you out of the movie. There's just a few instances where it definitely could have maybe used another touch over or something like that. There's also some questionable character decisions. In any movie like this, it's always going to have those. There's times where characters get out of the car when they shouldn't, or they walk off to another area when they really should probably stick with the group. And it comes with the territory. It's something that's always going to pop up in these type of movies. And realistically, if you've never been in a situation like this before, you don't really know how people would act. So it's not unheard of that people might still do these things, but when they kind of happen one after the other, it gets a little tiresome here and there. But yeah, overall, Beast is enjoyable. Even though it's nothing new, it still brings a lot to the table. It's got good performances. It's got solid action sequences to keep you on the edge of your seat throughout. It doesn't spend a lot of time with the characters initially to establish them. We get maybe about 20 to 25 minutes of character development early on before we get right into the action. And it does enough to establish who these people are and what they're about. But outside of that, you don't really get much else through the movie. And honestly, this isn't the type of movie that's really going to give you much more. So what we do get is enough. And I think the actors and actresses all play off each other well. They've all got good chemistry, and they do seem like a family. And yeah, that's really all I can say about this movie. Overall, I would probably give Beast a B-. Like I said, great action sequences, and it's a fun ride, but unfortunately, it's nothing original or new, so that knocks it down a couple points. But it's definitely worth checking out, especially if you're a fan of people involved, or if you just like man versus nature movies where you want to see somebody take on a big, ferocious lion like this. So, yeah, if you've seen Beast, please let me know what you guys thought about it. Be sure to look out for more reviews coming in the near future. Also, check out more of my written reviews, which are on my blog of the same name, Jake's Cinema Room. I also write reviews for a website called BattleRoyaleWithCheese.com. You can check out some of my reviews there. Be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll post all those links down below. Until next time, guys, I'll catch you guys later.